thing this week which was interesting because I sort of talk to my clients and I say, look, relationships are about 50-50. You each have got to give something to get something. And I read a little quip somewhere that actually said relationships actually need to be 60-60. You need to give a little more, because if you fall a little short, you're not leaving a gap between you. You actually still got 20% to play with. So relationships have got to be 60-60. They take a little effort, but from my perspective, the effort can become habitual, and then it's no effort at all. It's very easy. But the effort also, once we have learned the things that we need to learn, thank you. Once we've learned the things that we need to learn, then we've got it for all time, and we don't need to learn it again. It's there. They think about relationships as more about getting rather than giving, and it is about both. And maybe top of mind should be giving, because if we give that 60%, we're going to get a lot more as well. It's a little bit like having a puppy dog sometimes. Give it lots of pets, stroke it, take care of it, feed it well, and it will be your life mate forever. And people aren't that much different, really. They don't know how to behave in front of the opposite sex. They don't know how to behave in front of their own friends and other friends and family. And I'm talking here about the little things that Australians particularly are so good at, the little put-downs that we often do so naturally. Those little put-downs can be fine until, it's not fine anymore. But we really need to be mindful of that. So my husband and I, we have a pact with each other that we do not put each other down, ever. Because it can just be the thing that really upsets people and turns people over and leaves people feeling angry and resentful. So no put-downs, not even in the bedroom. They don't understand dating etiquette, and that's important too. Just the simple things, and often I say to my clients, sometimes it's just the pleases and thank yous that can make the difference. Yep. They make it all about themselves. Well, hello world. It's not. It's about all of us. And I spoke to you a little bit earlier today about a client that I'm seeing at the moment, and because of her own experiences, everything that happened around her felt like it was about her. And I keep reminding her it's actually not. There's another person in this relationship too, and some of these things that they are saying are about her, in actual fact, are about them. And those are the things that they've got to sort out, so that she doesn't have to take responsibility then for everything that happens around her. They never stop talking, or they don't talk at all. Has anyone got that problem? They make the conversation sound like an interrogation. Okay. So we need to be careful that it's really good to be inquisitive, or the word I like to use is curious. And in actual fact, it can be a great skill, because sometimes too often we assume too quickly, what's going on for the other person instead of checking it out. They move too quickly to give or get a kiss. Slow down. They don't pay attention to their date. They don't know the correct way to ask for a date. They have unreal expectations of what it is to be in a relationship, and that was raised as well. They don't know who the best kind of person for them is, and that's a big one too. I'm going to talk a bit more about that one specifically, like who's the best kind of person for me? Who should I actually be in a relationship with? They don't know how to make small talk. They don't know how to keep it separate from work. They don't know how to ask for a second date. And they get too scared. Fear's incredible. And there's the next one. They are afraid of being rejected, and that's often why they won't ask for the second date. But if you don't ask, you don't get. They don't ask for the date at all.
Sorry, I just saw the Dutch thing.
They aren't sure whether to pay for the date or to accept going Dutch. Yeah, that's a big one. You had a story about that.
That was, my first time ever going Dutch, and I thought to myself, oh my God, what's Dutch? Is that a new sentence? I didn't know
what Dutch was.
What want to do, what do I do? Then he pulled out his own money, and I thought, oh, that's what Dutch is on.
Sharing it. There you go. It could be. There you go. They expect that a first date should be something grand, and often it's probably better to make it as simple as possible, because the first date is about discovering each other. You need to have time to sit and talk. So you make it a quiet affair. It doesn't have to be a big elaborate dinner. You know, coffee down at the coffee shop's often the best thing for a first date, so you can actually just sit and share time with each other. They don't know who should make the arrangements, the invitee or the inviter. And I think I have this thing that I call the 21st century syndrome, and it goes a little bit like this, that women over the last 50 years have certainly stepped up and claimed their place in the world. And most often, you know, the confidence has gone with that. Sometimes, however, on the flip side of that, our guys are sort of left floundering, wondering what the hell is going on and how do I respond to that. So my challenge to all men, and I applaud all of you for being here tonight, because generally this is sort of a women's only place, so I'm really delighted that there's some men here. So my challenge then to all men is for you to step up to and know that you are also okay, and you have a right to your voice and to speak up and to say what you need in a relationship, in whatever context you might be in. And they keep picking the wrong person. And we've certainly seen that happen, and I've certainly seen that happen in my rooms. Some people come in and I have a few minutes with them and I'm thinking, how did you guys get together in the first place? I don't think you guys are meant to be together. But that's something we all have to discover for ourselves. Okay. So this seminar is about the biggest blunders single people make, and the little cartoon just down here says, I never make the same mistake twice. I make it 5 or 6 times, you know, just to be sure, just to make sure I get it right. So of those 25 odd, I'm actually just going to focus on 3. And that first of that is that one, that they keep picking the wrong person. And my little caption here says, I'll have to read it. Love is not just about finding the right person, but creating a right relationship. It's not about how much love you have in the beginning, but how much love you build till the end. Okay. And that's what the critical thing is there. It's about being on the same page with the person you are in relationship. It's called commitment. It's about committing yourself and your life to each other to make it the right person. Okay. Oh, that's clearer. Love is not just about finding the right person, but creating a right relationship. Okay. So, hello, my name is Mr. Right. Hi there, Kate. How you doing? Or is it Mr. Wrong? And something to contemplate, right or wrong? That's Jeffrey Edelston, and is it Gabby Greco? Greco? Yeah, Greco. Thinking, well, yeah, I don't know if that one's going to work. And this one might be familiar to some of you. As I was, been talking to people and checking around, this seems to be the newest fad in China and some of the Asian countries. It's a look-alike, and I think that's gorgeous. They're matching T-shirts. But the question then is, what's healthy and what's not? Is that healthy? Maybe, maybe not. Is that healthy? Can we be too much like each other? And then maybe we run the risk of becoming bored with each other if we do everything similar to each other, and that there's nothing to differentiate us, to show our differences from each other. I just like this photograph off Google. it's just interesting, and one of my favourite pastimes is people watching. Nothing better than sitting in a little corner cafe somewhere and just observing people as they go by, or observing people as they're sitting and enjoying a cup of coffee or whatever. I just think it says heaps here in terms of the interest of all three of these men towards this woman, and looking at their body language too and wondering where her interest actually is. And it doesn't feel like to me like it's with any one of them. But I love this guy with his ear cocked, just to find out what's going on over here. And is there something happening here? This guy's obviously extremely interested. His whole body posture tells you that. He's way front on to him, to her rather. And this guy's sort of feeling obviously a little bit out of the loop and out of the conversation. So, when we are choosing the right person or the wrong person, and when we're in conversation with somebody who may be the right person or the wrong person, be observant of not just the words that they are saying, nor even the expression on their face, but be observant of their whole body language, because it tells you heaps about where their interest actually is, and where you might be able to actually capture their interest.